the use of break-even analysis. Long ago, when I say long ago, could be 5-6 years ago, our dean, Professor Salma, wrote an article, a research paper in the newspaper, talking about the break-even of a toll. This, you remember Toll Plaza, when you go from Aligarh to Delhi, you pay
Yes,
toll
sir.
tax, or maybe if you recall DND, DND flyover. So the cost was recovered long ago, and still they were charging. So because it is not a commercial undertaking, it is a government undertaking. So government cannot be a profitable venture. So once it is over, you stop charging. So it was based on your break-even only. So like this, there are several uses. Okay. Anything else in this regard, or you want me to explain further on this slide? Let me tell you. Somebody wanted me to explain more on. No, it is in a different file. Let me open that file. Let me first stop sharing this, and then I'll tell you another file. Somebody wanted to know more about. Okay, so let me open another file, and then I'll show you. Yes. This Usman wanted to know. Lokesh, I'll explain to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Usman wanted to know about this slide. Okay, I wanted your observations. I wanted to this. So what did you note? What do you observe in this slide?
सर इसमें ये जो क्वेश्चन पूछा हुआ है कि इकोनॉमी इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू डू वेल, सर ये समझ नहीं आया कि कैसे सोल्व होगा.
ब्रेक इवन का इकोनॉमी से क्या ताल्लुक है, ये बताइए. When we talk about break even, we are basically talking about the variable cost and sales price difference.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? What do you see here? 110 and 78.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Per unit it sells, how much does it recover? How much does it recover? 32.
Yes, sir.
How much does this recover?
15.
How much does this recover?
25.
25, and then like this it recovers.
Yes, sir.
Now, if the economy is doing well, would you like to have a system which has less variable cost or more variable cost?
Sir, less.
Less. Why less? Your answer is correct. Why less? Because each additional unit will give you more revenue, more contribution.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you get more contribution from additional units, so additional units selling more and more units will be possible only when the economy is doing well. If the economy does not do well, you hardly have demand of goods or services, people are not buying, then what is good? To have something which has less fixed cost. Otherwise, your money will be blocked.
Yes,
so
sir.
This was the relationship, and based on that, one can take decisions. That is why the economy concept was brought into economy with respect to the hint that I have provided. Now, Lokesh has asked, I need some explanation on how break-even is used for analyzing the effect of change in price and cost. Okay. Change in price, I had explained to you. Refer to those slides once again. But still, I'll give you. When you change the price, the price can be changed. Prices can be changed upward or downward. All right?
Yes, sir.
When you change the price upward from 15, you make it 16. What will be the apparent effect? Break-even will increase or decrease? if the prices are changed from 15 to 16, break even will increase or decrease? If at this stage you are taking time to answer, I don't know what you will do tomorrow when your test is held. The question is, if the prices are increased from 15 to 16, break even will increase or decrease?
It will decrease, sir.
Will decrease. So why do you, it was a matter of just 5 seconds.
सर आदिल ने जैसे पूछा कि जनरल क्वेश्चन है तो इस वजह से शायद सब चुप
कोई बात नहीं. Now, to answer the question of Lokesh, what happens when the prices are changed? So first, let us decide that prices are changing upward from 15 to 16. So break even is decreasing, but at the same time, look at the profitability. When the prices are increased, what happens? Demand increases or decreases?
Decreases.
The chances are that demand will decrease. Now you estimate with this increase in price, what will be the decrease in demand? 2%, 3%, 10%, 15%, whatever. So naturally you will estimate. Just one second. How to calculate labor variance? I'll explain. Just to calculate that demand will decrease by 10%. So in order to take a decision using break-even concept, you calculate profitability on two situations. One situation, the current one. What is your profitability when you are selling now? What will be your profitability when demand changes, demand decreases? And you compare those two profits. If profit is more, you can take the decision, and if profit is less, you can ignore the decision. So this is how, when you can do it with increase in price, similarly you can do it with a decrease in price. If prices are decreased from rupees 15 to 12, the chances are the demand will increase. But all these statements that I am making, it is all in general. When I say in general, in some cases this phenomenon does not happen. I will not say much here because you recall the classes that you held in managerial economics that will give you. Now, there are questions I am receiving. The reason of asking you to send me questions in advance was, I don't mind to answer your question anytime, but see, one question belongs to one file in presentation, another belongs to another file of presentation, so moving back and forth will be difficult. Difficult means waste of time. Secondly, had these questions been known to me before, I would have prepared some specific slides for that. Say, for example, Lokesh asked me, so instead of explaining here, in abstract form, I should have at home worked out a solution with facts and figures, assuming certain things in one slide. That would have been much more clearer, much more easier for you, and not for me. For me, it would have been additional work, but I am paid for that work. I should have been in a position to do it at home and save your time. My time in any case will be spent. 50 minutes will be over in another half an hour. But your time could have been saved had these been conveyed to me before. No point in giving you sermon when we are meeting in the last class. I have been asking you. All right. Lokesh, I have clarified. Then Deepa, I having problem understanding assumptions of break-even. I explained. Or Deepa, is there any specific assumption in which you have an issue? दीपा, आर यू अराउंड? ये सवाल पोस्ट करके चाय पीने चली गई?
नो सर, आई एम हियर ओनली.
तुमने ये सवाल किया है, बताओ मुझे, डू यू हैव सम प्रॉब्लम विद स्पेसिफिक assumption ऑफ ब्रेक इवन, या सबसे प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हें? कुछ स्पेसिफिक बताओ ना, सवाल क्या है? व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? आपने ये लिखा है, आई एम हैविंग प्रॉब्लम इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग assumptions ऑफ ब्रेक इवन. Which assumptions? All assumptions. उसमें प्रॉब्लम तो बताओ ना क्या है?
Sir, in case of a firm producing multiple products,
Okay.
its sales mix also remains constant.
तो अब ये बताओ. Okay. अब लास्ट, अब देखो ना ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही. Let me check if that slide exists or not. Let me just check if that slide is available or not. I think yes, it's available. Sales mix remains constant. What is the sales mix here? 20-80 means if the firm is producing two products X and Y, X it sells 20%, Y it sells 80%. That is the demand ratio is 1:4 or 20% or 80%. 20% and 80%. This is what the meaning of sales mix is. Think of any other real life products and you will see, I mean, you can have a ratio. Think of anything that comes to your mind. I can explain to you that the sales is made in a particular ratio and proportion. This is the meaning of sales mix. What break-even analysis assumes that over any level of sales, right now the sales is 1 lakh, so it will get 20,000 rupees from X and 80,000 from Y, correct? Suppose the sales goes to 10 lakh, then it will be 2 lakh and it will be 8 lakh. Sales goes to 1 crore, so 20 lakh here, 80 lakhs here. So this is what break-even analysis assumes, that in case of a multiple product firm or firm producing multiple items, the sales mix remains constant. This is what the assumptions of break-even analysis is. And somebody asked me limitations. The limitation can be set from this assumption itself, that in reality the sales mix, the actual sales is not dependent on the sales mix suggested by or given in the break-even analysis. We will sell whichever is the demand. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? Now let me check what you people have posted. This is what need a basic idea how to calculate labor variance. Riza, do you still want me to explain how to calculate labor variance?
Sir, I'm just confused on the unskilled labor variance, which is just a second.
My problem
Sir,
is,
labor.
let me tell you, your problem I have understood. You try to understand my problem. My
Yes, sir,
problem
yes,
is
sir.
that I'll stop presenting this slide, will go back to another file, and
Yes, sir.
this is what I have asked you to post it in advance. Up
Okay,
now,
sir.
what is the solution now? The solution is that I'll go through these once again, whatever you have listed, and see, especially if I need to change the slide or the file, and I'll post it in the group. I'll upload it. Please explain make or by decision, make or by concept. Fatma, see, a firm always contemplates of making certain things or outsourcing, buying it from the market.
Yes, sir.
Think of any example, any product you may think of. Fatma, are you around?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am.
Tell me any product. I'll explain you with the help of that example. कोई भी प्रोडक्ट आपके जहन में हो बताइए.
Sir, you had explained it with the hospital example, like
चलिए हॉस्पिटल एग्जाम्पल,
yes,
ठीक है.
yes, sir.
हॉस्पिटल एग्जाम्पल में मेक और बाय कैसे हो सकता? हॉस्पिटल, let us say it needs photocopying of various reports. So one of the options is that it sends these reports outside next shopping complex and gets the photocopies. One
Yes, sir.
option is this. What could be another option?
It has its own
It
photocopy
buys
machine.
its own a photocopier.
Yes.
Okay. Suppose the hospital or the clinic is a small, it hardly needs uh, throughout the day, it needs just 50 pages. So forget about BEP concept, just leave everything as a general, as a common sense. Just it needs 30, 40, 50 copies every day. Should it buy the photocopier or not?
No, sir.
No, because it will not be economical. It will need electricity, it will need space, it will need operator, it will need so many things. So why should it invest this much of money and another 5 lakh rupees in buying a photocopier?
Yes, sir.
Now introduce the break-even concept. Suppose it needs 50,000 copies. Straight away we cannot say yes. So then we will work out, we will find out the cost. What will be the cost of getting 50,000 copies from outside, and what will be the total cost of getting 50,000 copies done in the clinic itself? So at times buying will be expensive, at times making ourselves will be expensive. So we need to arrive at a number of copies at which total cost will be equal. When total cost, let us say, is equal at 1 lakh, then beyond 1 lakh, it is desirable to have copier in the office itself. Less than 1 lakh, it is not desirable. Similarly, in the continuing with the hospital example, you can think of the pathological reports. It can establish a lab in its own clinic, in its own hospital, or it can get these lab tests done outside. You have lal path, you have green path, and all those pathology labs. Again, here it will calculate how much does it cost when it gets its test done from an external agency, like say lal path. How much will it cost if it wants to get these tests done in its own premises by establishing a lab, by buying those expensive equipments, employing a pathologist, buying a printer and this and that. So it will make total calculations. Then it will arrive at a point at which total cost from both the operations, having in its own premises or getting it done from outside, will be equal. This will be a point wherein it will take a decision beyond, have it less than, get it from outside. So this is what the concept of make and buy. You can take an example of an automobile company. You may take an example of four-wheeler. You may take an example, anything. See, normally what happens, whatever is produced, you don't use the entire components on your own. You outsource also. So you continue outsourcing. Then you may decide, okay, in our own setup, it will be desirable to make it. It will be economical in the long run. Then you decide at this unit, you should go for making and do not depend on buying. So this is what a make and buy I could explain to you.
Okay.
Then
Thank you, sir.
okay,
Sir,
yes.
sir, you also said that.
अरे एक मिनट ठहरो तो सही. Good. Please explain second, third, and fourth stages. Okay, the somebody. Okay, the calculation I am unable to understand. 95 student. Yes, now tell me. I'll come to that.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, in this similar example, you said that if the number of units increasing, then we calculated total cost, and then we calculated the cost of buying.
Okay.
So, sir, if number of units increasing, then the total cost of making was also increasing, and the of buying
A
also
time will
increasing.
come. You are right. A time will come when total cost of making as well as buying will be exactly the same.
But if both are increasing, then
both will not. Both will increase, but one will continue to decrease proportionately.
okay. This point I was missing. Yes, sir. Okay, fine.
There will be inverse.
Now I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes. Now next question, or let me check whatever you have posted. I am unable to understand which one. Okay, page 95. Is it you are referring to page number 95?
Say study material.
Study material, page number 95. Correct. Which one you have sent me? 140. Overhead expenditure variance. Now look at the data of page. Just one second. Where is the problem? Labor time. Okay. Page, look at 93, 94, 95. Overhead, fixed overhead variance 30, 33. Okay, this particular solution is there. Its problem I'll check in the book. You remind me, because when I see pages 94, 93, let me check 92 also. No, it is not there. I need to work it. I need to recheck and then get back to you. Remind me in case you don't. Then you have asked me about the third, fourth stage of variances again, Kratika. When we say second stage, third stage, I need to. You all have mentioned your names, roll numbers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, let me once again change this. Let me stop presenting here. I'll change the slide and then sorry, I'll change the file. Zishan, I'll just answer your question first. Let me explain. Let me reload the file and explain to you about the third and fourth stage. Which file is this? No. Oh, the file needs to be opened. I'll open that file. 44. Okay. Wait, I'm just uploading the file. Okay. So Kratika wanted to know first stage, second stage, third stage once again. See, this is your first stage. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir. Visible.
This is your first stage. In first stage, if you stop here, that because actual and total costs are same, so we have nothing to worry about, nothing to further investigate, then you will be making a mistake. Why? Because when you go to the second stage, you see that your total cost is 20, total cost is 20 here. But if you split it into at least 3, you can split it into 10, 20, 100, 200. Then you notice there was some variance here, some variance here, some variance here, in such a way that one compensated the other. That is why it was nil. So second stage analysis was necessary. Now within second stage also, this 500 could be because of several reasons. Either prices were more than what we decided, or quantity was more than we decided, which we came to know only when we went for the third stage of analysis. Within this also, at times it is possible that our mix changes. At times is it possible there may be several reasons, or we go to the fourth stage of analysis, but we go to the fifth stage of analysis. This is what the meaning of fourth, fifth, third and fourth stage of analysis. Where Zishan asked me what can be the reason for overhead variance. Okay, see, overhead variance, you have got fixed overhead, you have got variable overheads. For example, you decided that the factory will work in 2 shifts. Each shift will be of 8 hours. In each shift, 100 workers will work. So if there is a change in any of these, instead of 2 shifts, sometimes you work in 3 shifts. Instead of 2 shifts, you are working in 2 shifts, but number of workers in one shift were not 100 or 1000, whatever you decide, they were 990. 10 were absent. There will be a variance. Instead of working for 8 hours, for some reason there was a breakdown and you worked for only for 7 hours for 1 week. There will be a variance. So there is no limit because of which variance may arise. And naturally, you will not go infinitely for deciding what could be the reasons. Up to a reasonable level, you will go, and then it will tell you, it will help you to investigate and take more informed decision. Matched with the answer. Okay, now this is fine. You are able to match the answer. Third and fourth stage I have explained. I am unable to match. Okay, any other question now?
Sir, I have a few questions regarding the MCQ tomorrow.
Regarding
The MCQ that is supposed to be held tomorrow.
Okay. Ask.
Sir, it's a 15 marks MCQ, so I'm assuming that there would be about 15 questions.
Not about exactly 15 questions.
Okay, so can you please tell us how much time are we going to get?
15 minutes. I'll tell you the reason. For example, there is a question like just now I asked, if sales price increases, BEP will increase, will decrease, will remain unchanged. None of the answers is correct. How long should you take to answer this question? Tell me in seconds.
About 20 to 30 seconds at max.
At the max, 20 to 30 seconds. Anyone? Any other answer? See, the moment you read when sales price increases, BEP will. The moment you come to decrease, you even don't need to read further answers, or do you, or should you? Because it is for sure. Okay, let us say 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Similarly, if there is a question, sales price is this much, variable cost is this much, what will be the contribution? How much time will you take?
So within a second we can be able
10 में से
to do it.
आपको 8 को माइनस करना है, कितना टाइम लगेगा 10 को 8 में से माइनस करने में? 2 सेकंड। 2 सेकंड, 5 सेकंड क्वेश्चन पढ़ने में लगा दीजिए, तो 10 सेकंड। देयर विल बी some questions, 4, 5, 6 questions which can be answered in 10 seconds or less. Suppose I tell you a fixed cost of, sorry, sales price and variable cost of A is this much, sales price and variable cost of B is this much, and composite contribution ratio would be, you may require more than a minute because you need to make certain calculations, isn't it? So if you require, let's say 2 minutes, earlier you have already saved 4 minutes, isn't it? Yes, then because you have been answering multiple choice questions for very long in MBA, in your graduation, in your +2, in your, like this, and your other exams that also did, by now you must have got a fairly good idea that out of all the 4 answers, at least one answer is irrelevant. You don't even need to think of that option. Usually क्या होता है, the questions, I mean, it takes a lot of time to plan those questions, because all should be planned or are planned in such a way that at least 30 to 40 questions are such which everybody should be able to answer. Another 50, let us say 30-40% are those which are slightly difficult, which not everybody will be easily able to answer, but with some efforts. 10-20 should be such which only those who have really worked hard should be able to answer. You all must have studied the normal distribution curve in your quantitative analysis classes, have you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, all this should follow the normal distribution. It should not be skewed. So this is how the examination and evaluation takes place. If we are tested at our test, if we are subject to some evaluation and test, and evaluation is one of the components, then our evaluator will see, has he made all the questions in such a way that everybody can score 100%? If I gave you all those 15 questions, what is the contribution margin if sales price is 10, variable cost is 2? In remaining questions, I change the figures only. All 15 questions, everybody can answer all 15 questions correctly. So your marks should show a normal distribution curve. If that is correct, then I have done justice. If not, if everybody gets 80% out of 120 of you odd, everybody gets 80%. Somebody 80, somebody 81, somebody 79. Just within this range. Will the evaluation will be honest and just evaluation, or it will be unethical evaluation? It will be skewed evaluation. Evaluation should be such that majority should get a particular percentage. It's a normal distribution, it should follow. Okay, okay, Riza, Anam, what are the other questions that you have with respect to MCQs? Any other question? Or that was enough? Arma?
So that was all that I needed to ask.
Good. Anyone else who wants to know anything more about MCQs, except what will be those MCQs?
Sir, not regarding the MCQ, वो आपने जो क्वेश्चन दिया था and I answered, तो आप बोल रहे थे क्या वो डिस्कस करोगे?
वो मैं आपसे कर लूंगा डिस्कस, बिकॉज दैट इज इंडिविजुअल, बता दूंगा मैं आपको. और बताइए, जो समथिंग विच is of the interest of everybody. Which class is today's class for those who have been attending regularly, जिनका जनवरी में दाखला हो गया था?
Sir, it is
41 sir.
41st sir.
41st. अच्छा, और जिन लोगों का बाद में दाखला हुआ?
25th.
Sir, there was a table.
हाँ बोलो बताओ, ये ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Sir, there was a table that you asked us to include in our previous report to keep a track of our attendance. So should we include that in this week's report as well?
I'll intimate to you. Just now, I'll tell you the format in which you will prepare the report. or maybe there's no need to post it. I'll just create the assignment. You follow the same format. And upload your report today by 5 p.m.
Same format as in the one with the
Stays in
additional
the form
table?
that you did in the second last.
Okay, okay, sir.
Adil,
Thank you
what
so
are you writing? Fund flow and ratios? Yes, syllabus FMQ, you are right. Lokesh has asked a question. Adil has correctly answered it. It was explained in the class also. It was told in the class also. Correct. Fund flow statement in ratio analysis. Correct. Yes, any other question? So those of you who joined late, how many classes could you attend?
So 34.
No, should be less, isn't it?
26.
No, so for me,
26, sir. 26.
for hospital it is
26.
less.
For hospital MHA people, how many could you attend?
So 26.
sir.
26, sir. I heard that there were some admissions yesterday also. Although we have not been officially informed, somebody was saying that yesterday also somebody was admitted. I don't know. I mean, I have no comment about the way a university is functioning. We are doing our job. What will happen, I don't know. Because by now, most of the teachers must be in the last leg of completing their classes. The sessional marks are to be finalized. Your end term paper is to be prepared. Your examinations are starting from 4th.
So we haven't been told yet.
No, last working day was announced, isn't it?
The last working day was announced, which was 31st, but we were not told about the exams.
Okay, 31st means yes, within first week, maybe by 3rd or 4th at the max, your examination will start, because as soon as your examinations are over, your second semester is to be started, because somehow the session is to be brought to January, not January, say July, or say by July, no, April, May, June, July, latest by August. Your third semester should start by somewhere in the first week of August, and then your summer training, lot of work. All right.
Second semester will be online or offline?
Still no notification for that. Only finally the students are attending offline classes. They have started attending. Those of your friends who are in 4th semester in all these 4 courses, they have started coming to the department and they are attending offline classes. In your case, perhaps the decision will be taken only once you complete your examination of first term.
Sir, in academic calendar, it is given that examination will be start from 10th April.
So if it is 10th April, no, 10th April should be earlier.
No, sir, actually the last working day is 4th April, according to the academic.
Last working day in the calendar is 4th April, not 31st March.
31st March. Yes, sir.
4th April. No, so why should 6 days gap? Maybe, I don't know. They may not. Otherwise, 6 days gap, when we are struggling with the time schedule, the 6 days gap is not desirable. Anyway, I'm not for this one. My job is whatever is that I'm trying to perform. Fine. Ask me if there are further questions. Okay, once the classes are over, formal classes are over, you may, if you wish, let us complete our task ahead. The task is that today you will be submitting your report. Tomorrow morning 8 o'clock you will take your test. When your test is over, you will know the marks of your test and also the marks of total marks. Then within that time frame itself, that is tomorrow morning, you post me. I'll create a form. You post me everything of your total marks, your attendance, your whatever you wish, and then you will have details in the form that I'll create. How do you wish to appear in the YOC examination? Number 1, do you wish to appear or not? If yes, then online or offline. So we will, once I know that how many of you are prepared to face the Viva, and that how many within that online, I will publish a schedule starting from Friday. And then those of you who are willing to take online, offline. In the economics class, you may come to the department, and then economics class starts in the third period, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
10:40 on 10. Sorry,
So
9:40.
9:40 to 10:40.
9:40. So those of you who are willing to face the Viva face to face, you can come to the department from 9:40. Let me see what is the data. Ultimately, what is the data? How many of you are willing to appear in the Viva, and of those, how many in face to face and all? I'll only then I'll be able to take a decision. Let us hope things are finalized within the next week by Thursday or so. Whatever, we'll try to complete that. So if you have any more questions, you can ask, and if there are no more questions, you can leave the class. It is up to you. I am available here. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed these 40-50 days. For some of you, it was 41. So for some of you, it was 26 only. The plan was for 44, 45 because of revision and several other things. And we perhaps have been able to complete it in the required time without hurrying up. So if there are issues that you want me to explain further, I can do that. If not, you can leave the class and relax for these 4 or 5 minutes.
Sir, can you please share these slides with us?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
I need to edit them. I'll share.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Just a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Sir, is it like mandatory कि जब अगर मेरी फिक्स
आवाज
कॉस्ट
तुम्हारी
इंक्रीज हो
ब्रेक
रही तो मेरी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट डिक्रीज होगी क्योंकि सर आपने जो वो इकोनॉमिक वाला क्वेश्चन दिया था उसमें अगर हम लोग देखें तो कंपनी ए सर मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती थी कि सर अभी आ रही है आपको आवाज
अब आ रही हाँ
सर मैं ये पूछना चाह रही थी कि इसे जरूरी है कि फिक्स कॉस्ट जैसे इंक्रीज हो रही है तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट मेरी डिक्रीज होगी
नहीं फिक्स कॉस्ट अगर इंक्रीज होगी तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट डिक्रीज होगी आप आम जिंदगी में देखिए जस्ट लुक एट इट फ्रॉम दी think of anything any product or service. If it is costly, its maintenance cost is less. If it is less costly, its maintenance cost is more. कोई भी प्रोडक्ट कोई भी चीज आप सोच लीजिए तो in the context of break even, difference between variable cost and sales price is your contribution. तो अगर फिक्स कॉस्ट बहुत ज्यादा है तो कंट्रीब्यूशन वक्त के साथ साथ उसको कवर कर लेगा and in the long run you will be better off. लेकिन अगर फिक्स कॉस्ट कम है वेरिएबल कॉस्ट ज्यादा है तो इट इज गुड फॉर यू इन द शॉर्ट रन इन द लॉन्ग रन इट इज नॉट गुड. आप कोई प्रोडक्ट का एग्जांपल लीजिए आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल ऑफ बाइंग ए कार. यू मे हैव अदर एग्जांपल्स वेयर इन लेट अस से पर्सनली यू आर प्लानिंग टू बाय ए प्रिंटर. which one will you buy? Dot matrix, inkjet, laser or line?
So laser.
Acha, why not by the way line? Because you don't need that much of massive printing, correct?
Yes, sir.
But suppose the question is for a company, and the company, let us say for the university. If university has a choice between all these 4 types of printers, can the university think of buying an inkjet? Why not inkjet? Because the running cost will be huge. Why line? Because running cost will be less. But at the same time, we have to have a particular stage at which we should take a decision. But line will be used, line printer will be good for the controller's office. Will the line printer be good for our department?
No, sir.
Because our department will be comfortable with laser only. That means unconsciously it must have taken a decision on number of copies department requires, number of copies controller's office requires, number of copies IRCT office requires, number of copies railway requires, isn't it? So you calculate fixed and variable and then arrive at a units at which total cost is equal. Then if you think beyond, then you go for something which higher fixed cost but lower variable cost, because in the long run you will be saving each additional page you make, you will be saving money. That is the reason.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other thing if you wish to know?
Sir, in a nutshell we can say that it's all about the usage कि हम लोग
yes
किस
use
तरह
it,
के प्रोडक्ट को यूज करें
otherwise और क्या बेसिस हो सकता है, और बेसिस क्या हो सकता है अदर देन यूजेज, यही तो होगा ना?
यस सर.
ठीक ठीक.
सर से ये कंक्लूजन निकल सकता है ना कि मतलब हर प्रोडक्ट का रेट सेम रहेगा लेकिन यूजेज अलग होता जाएगा, वेरी करेगा.
प्रोडक्ट का भी रेट सेम नहीं रहेगा ना. देखिए प्रोडक्ट जो है डिफरेंट टाइप्स की प्रोडक्ट की आपको डिफरेंट कॉस्ट होंगी. द मोमेंट वी से डिफरेंट कॉस्ट देयर विल बी टू डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ कॉस्ट, क्योंकि हमारा एजम्पशन है ना कि देयर आर ओनली टू कॉस्ट, फिक्स एंड वेरिएबल.
वेरिएबल एंड फिक्स, यस सर.
यही तो है ना. अब आप ये देखिए कि फिक्स एंड वेरिएबल, तो आप यूजुअली ये पाएंगे कि अगर फिक्स कॉस्ट ज्यादा है तो वेरिएबल कम है एंड वाइस वर्सा. आप वॉशिंग मशीन लेते हैं तो विच इज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, सेमी ऑटोमेटिक, ऑटोमेटिक और फुल्ली ऑटोमेटिक?
फुल्ली ऑटोमेटिक.
लेकिन इसकी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कम होती कि नहीं होती?
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In terms of efforts, in terms of usage, in terms of electrical consumption, in terms of so many things. If you go for manual, 50% manual, it will be cheaper, it will be economical, but at the same time variable cost will be more. Now how do you decide which one to buy? Not your fashion, not purely on commercial basis. Will a laundry be comfortable buying a manual or semi-automatic?
No, sir. It will be comfortable in buying fully automatic.
Fully, because it will save its cost in the long run.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, even with the example of a car, personally you can take one decision, but a taxi or travel agency will take a different decision. Personally, we will drive our car at best 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 kilometers a month. 2,000, maybe 1,000 kilometers a month. And they will drive 50,000 kilometers a month. Isn't it?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
So depending on the usage, we take a decision. Now, the time you may join another class.
Thank you so much, sir.
I'll be creating the assignment for your report and
Thank
then
you, sir.
for your question paper.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
My pleasure.